Hello, SMITE fans and SMITE viewers, and welcome to the second set of matches for the Oceanic Pro League week number 1, Split 1. My name is Parathis, and I will be casting alongside Timmy, one of my good friends. Now, Timmy, how excited are you to be casting the new lineup of the Direwolves competing against Tainted Minds, previously known as Take 2?
I'm pretty excited. We see that Direwolves has picked up Maxim, one of the more renowned junglers during the last season, so their lineup is going to be incredibly strong, but Tainted Minds, they've come out swinging this year. They are not going to be taking anything easy.
Definitely not. So coming up on your screen in a second, we're going to be going over the team overview for the Dire Wolves. So from left to right, only good at solo. Previously on the roster of Avant-Garde was a sub. I do believe he competed in the last week of the Pro League where they versed Dire Wolves. Maxon, a very, very strong component of the Chiefs Esports Club in the 2015 Oceanic Pro League. Kiki, Richard, and Yada as well, 3 core members of the Direwolves team in the 2015 PAX Regionals, where they did place second, just close behind Avant-Garde. And also Yada switching from that solo lane to the attack damage carry or hunter role.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Yada transitions. I remember during his early stages of the OPL and the Invitational ladder, he did play Kronos a lot in the solo lane, so we might see something like that coming out, but he's not going to be very unfamiliar.
No, definitely not. And up next, we do have Tainted Minds on the team overview.
Alright, so Tainted Minds, we see a little bit of a roster matchup of various other organizations. We see from left to right, iDivine, Shredded, Slicey, Tomolomu, and Gruff. iDivine coming from SYF Gaming, who was at the PAX Regional Finals last year. Shredded, a little bit of a newcomer, so we're going to see how he fits into the whole thing. But Slicey, Tomolomu, and Gruff all come from Chief Esports. I believe Slicey was a sub, so going to be a little bit of shared information between these two teams with Maxon and the rest of Tainted Minds.
That's right, it's going to be an extremely interesting game. It is a best of 3 series, so let's not waste any more time. We'll go right into the picks and bans phase.
Alright, picks and bans coming up on your screen. We can see the first ban coming out from the Direwolves is going to be Capri.
Yeah, Capri, very, very strong support. You've seen him played in solo as well. That revive is just, it completely shifts the team fight, and as well as the hard CC that he offers with his abduct. Tainted are going to be banning out Athena as well, another strong support.
Athena is just all around good. You can't really nerf Athena without changing her kit. The taunt is just so powerful, just on such a low cooldown. As well as the Defender of Olympus, just allowing you to get everywhere. You have to ban it out. Guan Yu getting the next ban out from Tainted Minds.
Yeah, we saw just in that last game between Pandemonium and Avant-Garde how strong Guan Yu can be. I think one of the statistics was over 20k before the game had even finished just in player heals. It's a ridiculous amount. It's very, very low cooldown as well. So if you stack that up with a Fire Giant buff as well, plus the Guan Yu heals, you're pretty much going to be at full health within, 5 seconds.
Yes, and I made a mistake. Tainted Minds didn't ban out Guan Yu. Direwolves banned that out. Tainted Minds banned out Bologna next.
Yeah, Bologna very, very strong in the solo lane. Banned away from Tainted. Focus picking against Ogre there. And we're going to be going into our picks. Direwolves immediately picking up Chiron.
Chiron's just the safest hunter. He's like the Sun Wukong of hunters. As soon as he gets in a bad spot, he can find so many ways to get out of it. He did lose the cripple effect on his training exercise, but it still has the cleanse on it, which is very undervalued. You usually see it only for damage.
And Geb and Soul getting picked up in return for Tainted Minds. Now that's a very, very strong duo lane just in those 2 picks. However, Soul can be played in the mid lane. I do believe we saw Ochita playing that in the first game against Avant.
Yeah, Sol can definitely pull it off in the mid lane. Her wave clear is up to par with a lot of other mages, and it just allows for a really hard carry late game, as well as, a secondary, single target sort of mage, so they might be looking for a bit more area damage elsewhere.
And again, in return, Direwolves are going to be picking up Odin and Thor. Now, if that isn't early game pressure, I don't know what is. Odin, very, very strong in the solo lane and the jungle with that bird bomb. Pretty much has one of the best clears early. And Thor, as soon as he hits level 5, your lane is pretty much guaranteed to be ganked on.
Yeah, and you have to also ward out a little bit awkwardly. You have to chuck in some wards in the goal if you're in Fire Giant Pits, just because that's where he likes to typically take off from. We see Humbat's going to be the last pickup here in this round of picks.
Humbat's extremely strong jungler, has a lot of teamfight presence with that Fear No Evil ultimate. Big circle ultimates pretty much disrupt any teamfight. It baits any kind of beads, and if you don't have beads, well, you are pretty much done for in a teamfight. Moving on to our bans, Tainted Minds are going to be removing Isis from the game.
Ice is very strong in the mid lane, very high clear rate early on, as well as that circle protection, just really able to lock down those objectives, really secure it. So I am definitely going to honor that ban.
And Direwolves banning away Neath, very, very strong clear with that Spirit Arrow, and can clean up pretty much any kill on the map with our ultimate World Weaver being a global.
Yeah, yet another ban to a global god. Next ban coming out, a little bit of a peculiar one. Barkus is going to be taken out of the table.
Not really sure about the Barkus ban. They could have banned out. Oh, I wouldn't even know what they could have banned here in this situation. But
we haven't seen Barkus all that much recently. But if
True.
you think about it, he is quite strong. The Belch of the Gods can actually push minions back close together, clump them up for those hunters who have trouble clearing. And his damage output is deceiving. Intoxicate just absolutely destroys you. He can be scary.
Extremely scary, especially in a team fight. Again, big circle ults are getting banned and picked up here.
Circles on circles.
Big circles, big circles. Circles win games, basically. Hoi Yi being removed from Direwolves are going to be banning away Hoi Yi, another strong hunter.
Yeah, no more circles for you, buddy. Sunbreaker is very strong for the objectives and very strong for zoning.
I'm interested to see why they must be clearly thinking that the Soul is going in the mid lane. That's 2 hunters they banned out, even though Tainted Minds have already picked up Soul, who could go in that hunter role.
Personally, Soul in the hunter role, I think you can do better with a hunter. So
yeah, true.
It does make sense that they're still targeting out the ADCs.
And we're going on to our next set of picks. Tainted Minds are going to be picking up Apollo. So there you go. There's their hunter role locked in.
Also, quite a good split push potential right there from the Apollo across the skies, able to get him out of a lot of bad situations.
And if you're split pushing in left lane, however, and a Fire Giant fight breaks out, you can just ult from one side of the map to the other, and pretty much clean up everyone with the ult. Next is going to be Agni and Sobek getting picked up for Direwolves.
I definitely like this. We saw Richard Castle play Sobek at the PAX Regional Finals, and he just made DM Brandon love him. His Sobek play is so aggressive and so dominating, so keep an eye out for that.
Alrighty, and that's it for our picks and bans phase. We're going to go ahead.
You missed one.
Who have I
missed?
missed?
The Osiris.
Oh, Osiris. I kind of just want to get rid of the Osiris. I don't even want to look at it. I don't like Osiris, especially if it's going to be from Idivine.
Oh god, Osiris is so strong. Most solo laners have some sort of healing factor, but Osiris just has damage mitigation, so he doesn't really need healing in the first place. Be interesting to see how the Odin and Osiris matchup will be. But we're not going to be taking a break. We're going to go ahead and go straight into this game.
Straight into the game, as Timmy said. I'm extremely excited for this game. Let's go ahead, introduce our 2 teams here. So, on the left side of your spectator UI, fighting under the blue health bars, we have Only Good at Solo, who's going to be playing Odin in that solo role, as the name suggests. Maxon is your jungler for today, playing Thor. Kiki Omio is your mid laner for today on the Agni, and our duo lane is Richard Castle and Yada, playing Sobek and Chiron.
And find out on the right side, your Spectre UI, top side of the minimap, we have Tainted Minds. I define as the Osiris in the solo lane. Shred jumping around the jungle as the monkey is on Humbats. Slicey is going to be the mid lane Soul, and your dual lane is going to be Tomolomu, and Gruff as Skeb and Apollo.
Now, instantly, just have a look at Tainted Minds. Geb already going for that blink. He is automatically looking for early aggression with that ult. He's going to be blinking in as soon as he hits 5. Cataclysm, maybe even rotating over for a mid camp and just starting out an all-out fight.
You say that, but I'm also looking at Richard Castle with the early shell. He may be looking to counteract that early engagement if it does come up. It's going to be pretty good if you see the Humbats ultimate come out. More damage is going to follow up. So it's a very good very good relic. Sorry, to pick up where the engagements are so telegraphed.
And another player that I'll be looking out for on the side of Direwolves is going to be Maxon. Probably extremely, pretty much carried to the third seat of the Oceanic Pro League. Maxon, one of the best junglers, playing Thor with the red pot, already extremely aggressive. As I said, as soon as he hits 5, he's going to be looking onto maybe Slice or even in the duo lane.
Now that he's on Direwolves, I'm wondering if this year he's just going to get MVP every game again.
Well, he pretty much got MVP
that
for
was
all the games.
Get out of hand.
Yeah. Just share it around. Maybe share it for Kiki or even Yada or Ogre. There's they have such an all-star team, Direwolves, but don't take Tainted Minds out of the picture just yet.
Yeah, we mentioned before, Tainted Minds shown up very strong early on at the start of this year. First place in the end of Season 2 tournaments. And Maxon gained a fair bit of damage traded in towards the mid-camps.
Getting slowed out there by Shred on that somersault. He's getting extremely low. He's going to be teleporting back through that tower. Shred and Slicey just going to be following, but he should get out of that one.
Yeah, minions aren't going to pay him any mind. That's pretty good for him. We also saw Tomo. He wanted to start rotating around. He was maybe going looking for a blink if Maxon started to come towards him. So it's a good thing he looped back into the mid lane. But over on Solo,
oh my
goodness, Solo claims his territory.
Ogre, with that bird bomb, as I was saying, in the picks and bans, extremely good early game. Pretty much as soon as he hits 2, he's got the clear, he's got the damage, and iDivine, no chance against him, man.
Normally we don't see something like that happening in the solo lane so early on. It's usually just a slap fight, but with Odin, he just can't. His slaps are a little bit hard.
Only a little bit. Now Kiki and Maxon are going to be taking away those 5 minions, just getting a little bit farm there. But the first blood, though, let's have a look in our graphs. Already we can see a 1.4k experience lead, or just a 1k experience in favor of Direwolves, and about 700 gold in favor of them as well.
The important thing is that they got that first blood, so if it is going to put them a little bit to the advantage. Although on the left-hand side, a little bit more aggression, we see the Yada and Richard Castle just really pushing out Tainted Minds.
Yeah, who do you think has the... I think that Yada would have a very, very strong time in ADC. We did mention that he was solo lane before, but it's clear that he has picked up attack damage carry role pretty quick.
Yeah, I mentioned, he was playing Chronos for a good little while. He can hit his auto attacks. Although back in the solo lane, Cage is down and only good at solo is looking a little bit bruised.
Yeah, Ogre stuck in that cage. iDivine is not level 5 just yet. Oh, very, very close. Just able to get out of that fight.
But Shred, he's starting to wander around. He wants to go back in the mid lane, but he was starting to think about going over towards the solo lane. Try and pick up only good at solo.
Yeah, and now everyone's going to be hitting level 5 on both Tainted Minds and Direwolves. I should be looking out for Shred jumping over the wall and hitting Fear No Evil, despairing everyone on Direwolves, baiting out beads, but as well as Maxon hitting level 5. He's going to be looking for those Anvil of Dawns onto pretty much everyone.
Look at this now. Red buff stolen away by Direwolves, and the Fear No Evil comes out as a response.
Massive Fear No Evil coming out. They do take that red buff, however.
Yeah, the red buff is going to allow them to get a little bit further ahead. Slicey is going to be missing out. And I don't believe... No, Kiki, I believe, got that... Yeah, he got that red buff, so he is going to have a little bit of advantage in that lane. Yeah, and you start getting that early advantage, start stealing the camps away in the jungle. It has a surprising amount of snowball, connected to it.
And our mid camps are now coming up. It should be a point of contention for both teams here. We could be looking to maybe find a second blood.
Yeah, I don't believe there's going to be all that much of contention. Tainted Minds, a little bit worse for wear. Shred is out, man. Slicey is just too beaten up. This is just going to go straight to Direwolves.
Getting even further ahead of that lead following that first blood. I don't see any interesting builds just coming out yet, except for Gruff, who's not building into the typical Transcendence build that we see on ADCs, or even Devourer's Gauntlets. He's gone for the Death Toll and then straight into the T1 boots.
Well, the mobility is going to be important for him because Yada can't just chase him down wherever he wants with that giddy up. So, I don't see a Transcendence coming out for Apollo. Generally, you always see a Devour's Gauntlet just because he's so much more in-hand focus.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now over in our solo lane, Divine's just going to be backing. Ogre still has the lane pressure. Even though Divine did give up first blood there, it shouldn't set him back too far. It is the solo lane, so should expect to see some boxing, and pretty much everyone will be getting a decent
He
amount
is
of farm.
700 gold behind Ogre.
Whoa. I just looked at levels. I didn't even see the gold.
Yeah, he is 700 gold behind, and early on, there's a full tier 1 or tier 2 item. Although Ogre in a lot of danger, 2-man rotation with Divine making up the third, dived under the tower with the Lord of the Afterlife, and lives from the tower.
Only just lives from that tower at about 60 HP after he got out of that fight. However, Transcendence has now been starting to be stacked up on Yada, and Graf has finished off that boots. Divine getting the return kill, however, onto Only Good at Solo.
Shoutouts to the Osiris passive. Every time you lose a piece of yourself, you get damage mitigation, so he survived from the tower purely because he's Osiris.
He can walk out of the cage when he has fully stacked passive, right?
Yeah, I believe he can.
Yeah,
you also
through Ymir walls and...
You walk through player deployable walls, so that also means Thor wall is not going to be a factor.
That is going to be huge late game. Not so much early game as we're going to be seeing him just sitting in that solo for a bit, but as we start seeing more bigger team fights breaking out, that's going to be extremely useful for Divine.
Look at this Gold Fury sort of area. There's a Sentry Ward from Tainted Mines, but you can just barely see underneath the Gold Fury there is a ward from Direwolves, and Tainted Mines just can't seem to see that. They can't point that out, so there is still vision from Direwolves there.
And Tainted Mines have 3 sentry wards all around the Gold Fury area and the left side mid camps. Oh, Gruff over in the solo duo lane though. He's going to get stunned out from Max, and he might be in a bit of trouble here.
Evil's going to disperse Direwolves, but they're going back in. The Across the Skies is going to get Gruff out of there, but the Anvil of Dawn lands down on the Shred. Yada picking up the kill.
Yada getting the kill onto Shred, and now comes Cataclysm, and Kiki's rotated over to the fight. Lurking in the waters is Richard. Yada gets himself a double kill, and now the aggression has turned onto Soul. In the solo lane though, however, double kill for each other, returning the kills.
I just saw the Divine's icon on the map just zip across the map. I thought he teleported for a moment and then immediately died, but no, he just died. I think he just died from minions.
They just died on the tower, yeah.
Yeah. Little 1-for-1. They're really going at it in that solo lane.
Oh yeah, definitely. Divine extremely aggressive in that solo lane, but Ogre returning it with an aggressive god. 7.5 minutes in, 4-2 right now. Have a look at our graphs. That's a big lead in favor of the Dire Wolves now.
Yeah, 4,500 XP and nearly 2,500 gold. It is a little bit of a good foothold at the start, but it's not quite over just yet. Not by a long shot for Tainted Mines. So definitely a potential for a comeback. Considering that, I would consider Tainted Mines' late game be superior. The line they have is just all late game.
Completely agree. Now, both our supports, one finishing off Wingblade before Tomalomo has even finished the boots. What are your thoughts on getting Wingblade that early before boots?
It works for this situation. Wingblade gives a lot of stats, gives health, crowd control reduction, attack speed, movement speed. You don't really care much about the attack speed, but it also gives you slow immunity and speeds you up when you hit by a slow. And there's the Sobek. He goes and lurk in the waters. You want to get away from him. That's the perfect item.
And now our stacks are going to be pretty much fully completed on Yada. Interesting to see that they haven't really gone for any, 1v1 boxing. Yada, very, very aggressive in solo. I would have liked to see him be more aggressive as he is playing that Chiron.
Well, Chiron isn't exactly, the most aggressive hunter. He is the safest hunter, but not necessarily the most aggressive. And with the Death's Toll, you can still get a surprising amount of healing, especially if you're Apollo with that Audacity passive.
Over in our solo lane though, Shred is looking to jump over this wall to go onto Ogre. But Ogre, I don't know if he's spotted this one out. He's just sitting under tower. He doesn't want to waste his jump in case he gets caught in that Fear No Evil.
He got suspicious though when Define started making a beeline front. Gonna see the cage coming out. There it is, but Fear No Evil underneath as well. And Define gained the kill. Shred really low, just under 100 health.
Yeah, great play from Shred and Divine. Divine using that ultimate just to get out, and as well as Shred just jumping out with that somersault. Pretty much a free kill for them. Over in our mid lane, however, though.
Divine teleported in and got immediately stunned out. But keep in mind, Shred is on the right-hand side, split pushing. Teleport from Ogre is available, but he's not up for another 2 seconds, and Shred's already left this party.
Yeah, Shred knows better than to stay in that lane, even though Ogre does have that teleport. Getting out of that one and just playing extremely safe, did not want to give up a return kill after they got that free one.
We see Graf use his purification already. Maxon coming in for a little welcome call.
He has no mana.
Picks up the kill.
No mana on Graf, says bad luck for him. He did have that. Oh no, he didn't even have the Across the Skies. But Yada, 3-0 already. He's doing a massive amount of work for his team. And they're going to steal away red again.
Yep, that's what you do. As soon as you get a win, still a camp. And it has a greater impact than what you think. Because it just, not only does it put your team ahead, it puts the enemy team behind. So it's a double whammy.
And we saw just how much stealing away, even a back camp, just in the Pandemonium versus Avant. They got so far ahead, and Avant could not do anything. Meanwhile, in mid lane, though, Idivine just walking straight into. That's going to be a pluck, going to get stunned out. Cancel that. The Geb Shield does a lot of CC cleanse for him. Odin jumping in. He's going to get a kill with the Bird Bomb, and Idivine falls down to only good at solo.
Yeah, only good solo, still in that early stages of the game, so he is still an early game Odin. Definitely something you do not want to tangle with.
And then they take down that tier 1 tower. Kiki and Yada are going to be getting this left side mid camps, while Richard, Ogre, and Maxon are going to be taking away the right side, declining any kind of farm for Tainted Mine at this point.
Take another look at our graphs. We can see the XP's risen up yet again.
Oh, that's a big lead.
5.6 thousand XP in favor of Direwolves, whereas 3.4 thousand gold for Direwolves as well. It's slowly rising.
And
the graphs also seem to be going up at regular intervals. It's timed. It's clockwork.
Well, yeah, they get a fight, they farm for a bit, they have another fight, Direwolves win the fight, and then in solo they just trade kills. It's very organized for both the teams here. However, I think that they Tainted really need to be taking away the advantage that Yada has.
Yeah, Yada can, he is pretty far ahead, 3-0 and 1. He is going to be a very late game sort of influence. He's a hunter. He's always going to be late game influence. Although Tomo has to shield himself out of the Gold Fury.
Yeah, out of that Gold Fury. Maxon and Richard are just lurking around here, just trying to spot out anyone trying to rotate over.
Yeah, they're looking for some more blood around here. Dewarding Richard Castle. There's just a little too foe at the moment. Anthem of Dawn is online. Maxon lurking around this Gold Fury area. Prime spot for that. Gonna be looking for more poke, but not a whole lot else.
And now Kiki's rotated over with that Agni, trying to get the stun. Does not connect. But Maxon, Kiki, and Richard are just lurking around in this Gold Fury. I don't know if they're just baiting this or...
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing. They're either baiting the fight of Gold Fury or they're just wasting their time because there's no buffs up around that area.
And in our Joyline, massive Cataclysm to Richard under the castle across the skies. Graf is out of there already. Shred just trying to hunt down Richard at this point. Kiki is going to be here to back him up as well as Yada.
Yeah, Yada is going to go ahead be fine. As I said before, he is Chiron, he is the safe hunter.
And Shred has nothing to do with this tier 1 tower. He can't even defend it, even though the Fear No Evil was available for him. That's the second tower down for Direwolves.
Yeah, towers, they start adding up in gold. There's only tier 1 tower, so it's not a huge amount, just 100 gold per person, but it really leaves your team open and vulnerable.
And again, they're going to be stealing away. Is this the third red camp that they've taken away from Tainted Mines?
Yeah, it's the third one. They're making it their mission to take that red buff.
Over in our graphs, again, 7,000 experience lead and almost 4k gold lead. But have a look, they might be looking to... Nope, they're not even going to be starting up the Gold Fury after the Direwolves have just backed. They're just trying to get more farm, but looking around the jungle, there's nothing for them to even take.
No, and that's just the whole plan of Direwolves, just starve them out. They do have a better late game compared to Direwolves, but you have to get there in the first place.
Humbat now has that second relic online, which is going to be Blink. should be expecting him to be blinking in or somersault into the fight. Fear no evil, and either blinking or jumping right out of that. Very, very strong engagement with the circle ult, separating all the fight.
I'm going to tell you right now, he is going to be using that blink to engage, because it does no longer... There is no combat blink anymore. It is only... If you take damage,
Rest in peace.
you cannot blink.
Rest in peace, the combat blink. Very typical builds here, both on our ADCs, would you say? Asai getting picked up, the Transcendence, and that's probably going to be an Odysseus' bow for the attack speed?
I don't think it's going to be an Odysseus bow. I think they're both going to be going Ichafil. It's just a better item, in my opinion. Just better in all ways.
Over in our Gold Fury fight, though, 5 members of Direwolves are going to be starting this one up. Shred, just looking at the back here, we could be seeing a very big engagement turning in favor of Tainted Minds. Richard just missing the pluck there, does hit that stun. Lurking in the waters, going right onto Gruff, does get mezzed out. He does jump over the wall. Ogre missing that bird bomb. And just in the backline, Kiki is now going to be dashing out. Our Divine going to be jumping over, trying to get the stun. Centaurus form goes down. There's the Fear No Evil. Kiki's very in trouble here. Does use the beads. Maxon, however, gets a kill onto Our Divine, stuck in the cages. Shred, he jumps over, gets hit, falls down to Richard Castle.
Richard Castle getting another kill. Gruff getting a kill onto Yada. Finally, Slicey trying to get out, but Richard Castle with a double kill. I told you, this Sobek is dangerous.
It's not just anyone's Sobek. It's Richard Sobek.
Oh, it is scary. The only thing worse is maybe an Ares.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
Eric.
Oh my god.
What is he going to be doing into here?
Look at Ogre. He's not done.
Ogre, he's still trying to. He's taking away as much farm. He's going to be backing away now that he spots Gruff and Tom Alomo. But Direwolves just trying to decline as much farm as possible from Tainted.
Hey, if it works, don't change it.
And it's definitely working.
It is definitely working. They're putting them behind. They're just way further up in gold, about 5,000 gold. I just look at the graphs, and it keeps going up.
There's literally no decline since the start of the game. It's just up, 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 and then a little bit of a down, and then it's just straight up again. Yeah, up, up, and away. Still, 17 minutes into this game almost, no Gold Fury has been started. There's been a lot of baits coming through from Direwolves just because they have that advantage. And now they're going to be trying to look away to take away this next red buff.
I told you, it's clockwork. iDivine was trying to secure it for his team, the first red buff since the beginning of the game, and as soon as he starts doing it, Richard Castle comes around the corner and says, "Hey, sup, buddy?"
Hey, sup, you better get off that buff, because it's not yours anymore, it's all of the Direwolves. That's a great block on the Shred, though. It gets stunned out. There's a good Gev shield, and the beads does get used. Ogre and Richard are trying to peel for their backline at this point. Shred does teleport in, does have that Fear No Evil, goes down. Shred in a lot of trouble. That's a bird bomb, not a bird bomb. That's just an Agni bomb to get himself the kill. Lurking in the water straight onto Tomalomo. iDivine is in that form. Maxon just kind of trying to do some damage onto Gruff, who has no mana.
They are just forcing him out. That was a good engagement by Shred, but his team just wasn't there for him, and he just got turned on immediately by Kiki Omio. And now Direwolves, they're looking for something a little bit bigger than a red buff. They're going after this Go Fury.
But they need to be careful as iDivine is rotated over. Nope, Direwolves are going to take that one out. There goes the cage right onto iDivine. There's Across the Skies from Gruff going onto Yada. There's the corporeal form. Divine very, very low. Gruff as well, about half HP, and Slicey decides to get out of that one. And Gruff should fall in a second. No, he's got the Heavenly Agility, but Maxon gets himself a kill to iDivine.
iDivine nearly got away there. We've proven your little question there. He can walk outside of Odin Ring if he has his passive form, but he can't escape an Anvil of Dawn.
Can we just have a look at solo lane? Oh wait, hasn't been touched for about 10 minutes because every single fight this entire game has been based around this red buff. It hasn't been towers. It's barely been about the Gold Fury. It's just this red buff. They just want it so desperately.
Well, the red buff is much highly valued than the blue buff. All the blue buff does is give you 10% cooldown and regenerate 5 mana every second. Red buff is power.
Extreme power. Oh, have a look at Slicey though. He's got that Doom Orb about 25 stacked. Even though he's 0-1, hasn't died too much. But he's had it for a vast majority of this game, and he's only got about half stacks. He needs to be farming. In fact, everyone on Tainted Mind really needs to be farming in lane, and not just sitting around Gold Fury and Red for about 3 minutes, and then dying.
Well, they kind of have to, because otherwise Direwolves is just going to take everything. Direwolves is forcing this game towards their favor. Tainted Minds is playing Direwolves' game at this point.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, over on our right side solo lane, They have rotated over to the solo lane. Ogre is in that shield form, trying to do some damage onto Idivine as he just walks away. They don't want to commit to a fight at this point. Now it looks like Direwolves are going to be looking for objectives. They're done with this red buff. They're going to try and take down some towers at this point.
You reckon they got tired of the red buff? Like, red buff
I
is
think
cherry
they're just like,
want blueberry?
Nah, this is too easy. Richard Castle just missing the pluck there onto Tomalomo. That's a blink from Shred. Pheno Evil right onto Kiki. He does have the beads online, and Maxon gets out of that one as well. Ogre taking pretty much no damage with that shield, the Raven Shout.
Raven Shout, incredibly useful. Early on, you use it as wave clear. Late game, you use it for survival, and he is using it at perfect times throughout this game.
Now they do have the minions. That's a great wall onto Slicey. Cataclysm onto 4 members. Kiki gets extremely low, but the Aegis is too strong. Shred gets himself a kill, and now lurking in the waters is going to do a lot of damage. Maxon goes up in the air. We'll be looking to see him. Tainted Mind. Slicey falls down to Maxon.
Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Taking out Slicey. Now Tomo is going to fall down to Richard Castle, just picking up Stone Man. Okay,
with us.
Shred.
Divine now trying to box out Maxon. He needs to get out of this one because he won't be able to take on 3 members of the Direwolves. But here comes Graf across the skies. Let's see who he's going to fall down on. Should be Maxon. He does, but the Aegis is very, very strong. Graf is going to pop that sprint, and he's going to get out of there. No, he's going on to Ogre.
He's going for Ogre.
But Raven Shout is too strong.
We were talking about Raven Shout.
And now they're just going to be backing away from that fight. Tier 2 tower. Going to be backing. Tier 1 tower, though, on the solo lane, didn't fall.
Yeah, all the towers defended by Tainted Minds, but Yada made the opportunity that he was given. And now he's looking for the red buff.
He's finally got him. Oh, no, that's the... I thought that was for Tainted Minds. They're taking away another red buff.
Oh, God. Direwolves is invading all the red buffs everywhere.
I'd say look at the graphs, but... No, I don't want to. I don't even want to look at that. That's 13k experience.
13,000 for Direwolves, as well as 9,000 gold for Direwolves. It is continuing to go up, and it's going up faster and faster each time we look at it.
Can't really see any interesting builds here. Divine has that Frostbound Hammer to provide the extra slow onto his kit already, but I mean he is very tanky at this point, but he isn't doing enough for the team at this point to really peel for his backline. They're just getting caught out too easy.
Well, Osiris isn't exactly a peeler. He's more of a suppressor. You put him in the backline, he starts welling on all of the backline. You know, the hunters, the mages. And he just puts pressure, but he's only level 16, and he's only got a tiny bit of defense. He's getting focused out and, you know, turned on too easily.
And he should be building into... I hope that's a Bulwark of Hope to try and counter
it's a Bulwark.
Kiki. It's gonna be a Bulwark. Tier 1 tower does fall down in the meanwhile though, and Gruff trying to get some farm in the duo lane.
Yes, but he will be... Oh, he's walking up against the wall there.
He's going to be lagging out. Just as we have a look at Gruff, he's going to be lagging out.
Is he going to be going into the tower? Oh, he's going into the tower.
Don't
he's
die.
In the tower
No,
range.
Gruff. Don't die, Gruff. And Yada's rotating as well. Come on, Yada.
CGS, rip, Gruff!
Nah, just let him, right? Let's let him. Oh, he's come back!
No, he's disconnected.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, game getting paused out for Gruff there. Did not fall. Shoutouts to Yada and Richard for not focusing on him there. Spotting that he was DCing. And we're just going to go into a quick break while we're in this pause.
No, we're not going.
All right.
We're not going to be going into a break. We're just going to have a little bit of time to talk while we get through this little bit of a pause here. We can take a look further at some of our builds. We can see Richard. He's gone into the Void Stone, and that's a very aggressive item.
Oh yeah, extremely aggressive, providing him that 40 magical power and the 50 protections, as well as reducing the protections from pretty much everyone on Tainted Minds. That's going to be Bulwark not providing as much magical protections. But I don't really know what the strategy is for Tainted Minds at this point. I see them going in one by one, getting picked out. I'd like to see Shred, instead of blinking in and using his ult offensively, I'd like to see him use it a bit more defensively to defend the towers.
Yeah, he has to be defensive. Right now, Tainted Minds, they just have to survive. They do have that late game team, and they just need to really hold out. But like you said, they need to be very much more reactive, not responsive. So we're going to go back straight into game.
Alrighty, going straight back into that game. Gold Fury, as we do see, has come up now. We should be looking to see maybe another Gold Fury being contested out. But over in our solo, over in our right side mid camp, so that's going to be an ult from Max, and that's going to be a Cataclysm as well onto Kiki. He's dashing out of that one. Divine is taking him down though. He's got the Geth Shield around him and the beats. Kiki should fall down in second. That's the cage and the Fear No Evil. Shred gets himself a kill onto Kiki. Richard with a return kill onto Divine. Tom Alomo stuck in the cage. He's going to fall down to Yada.
Yada picking another kill. Gruff double mesmerized. Gonna get focused down by Ogre here. Tries to dash out, but he does get bird bombed.
Bird bomb just as the pluck hits him. Ogre with a double kill, and Slicey is the only remaining member left on Tainted Minds. But Ogre, Maxon, and Richard are extremely low, so they shouldn't look to go for any objectives at this point.
Look at Richard. 4, 0, and 11. Are we sure he's a support?
As a support? What?
Like, what the heck? Australian income.
Australian income. I completely agree with that one. Slicey getting that farm. He's completely stacked up his Doom Orb. Hasn't died for a while. Polynomicon online for him. That's going to be doing a lot more damage. What do you reckon he's going to be building into after these few items?
He needs some penetration, so I'm going to be looking for an Obsidian Shard. I don't see any other kind of penetration item. If he's really feeling the pressure from the magical side of Direwolves, he might get a Void Stone, but more than likely it's just going to be an Obsidian Shard.
And Slicey would be loving... Slicey would be loving this right now. He's got himself the red buff. Now Richard and that's going to be Kiki going to be taking their own red buff for a change. And I'd like to see a Fire Giant fight at this point. I don't see Direwolves going for a tier 2 unless they have... Oh, they're going to be starting up Gold Fury. No, they're going to be warding it and trying to look for the red buff.
No,
it's already down though.
They're going to be looking to just ward up everything, make sure they got the vision everywhere that they can. And if they find an opportunity to get a pick off, they're going to be taking it. And Maxon's going to be the one to call that off. But no, they are going to be going for a Gold Fury here.
Yeah, I don't see Tainted Minds contesting this one at all. They have no wards on it at all. Gruff has no idea this is going on. That's going to be an easy Gold Fury for the Direwolves. And they should be turning their aggression onto this mid lane where 3 members are pushing up. Well, 2 now. Now they're going over to right.
No, they can't really make up their mind. Yeah, Tainted Minds, they can't just dispersing away from Direwolves, looking to avoid fighting, looking for that farm. And they know that they're coming from.
Yeah, they can spot out that Idivine isn't right all by himself. He's going to be backing, but is it going to be in time as Maxon is going to be trying to clear... He's backing as well. Everyone's just backing and farming.
Everyone's just backing and farming. Although Gruff on the left-hand side, he's starting to make a little nest for himself. He's got sentry wards on the both top and low ends of the dual lane, just making sure that he can farm in peace.
Yeah, I'd like to see Gruff split push a bit more. As we were saying in the picks and bans, he has that global ultimate to be able to rotate over a team fight. Yada does get spotted out by that sentry ward, and he should back by that time. Great sentry ward placement by them. But over in our solo lane, 3 members of Direwolves are pushing up.
I was just about to say, the last time the Gruff tried to go for the tower, he was disconnecting.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't trying, he was just walking into it to me.
Oh,
goodness gracious.
Yeah, we see Tainted Minds, they're just being so cautious. Maybe they heard us. They're really looking to be reactive and trying to avoid fighting at all costs. Take a look at our graphs. We can see that it is starting to flatten out a little bit. XP is 5.3 thousand in favor of Direwolves. 11,000 as well in gold, but it's kind of flatlining at this point.
Yeah, it's because they haven't really...
Nothing's going on.
Yeah, nothing's really going on. They haven't looked to invade any camps. They pushed down right for a bit and then backed off straight away, but are they looking to get this tier 2 tower, or are they just looking in the jungle? I don't know what their plan is at the moment. Richard should get a pluck here and set up the fight, however.
Yeah, Slicey has to absorb the shield already. Big Cataclysm onto 2, but Yada beats it out.
Great Cataclysm. Maxon has turned his aggression onto Idivine, who is deep in the Direwolves team there. He's going to go up in the air as well. Should be looking... That's a great cage. That's a Fear No Evil as well. Shred is now the aggression from Maxon.
I see this being in favor of Tainted Minds at the moment. Direwolves expending all of their ultimates and not really gain anything out of it, and Idivine teleporting back in from the fountain with Gruff split pushing on the left like he wanted.
See, that's exactly what I want. He has the no, he doesn't even have the ultimate, but at least he's split pushing and getting his team extra further ahead. They're going to be taking this mid lane tier 2 tower down, however, and they should be backing off. Are they looking for a Gold Fury though? I mean, not a Gold
No,
Fury. They're looking to go
Ogre's
this tier
looking
2
to
tower.
defend. Ogre teleports back in, but the tier 2 tower still falls. Across the skies comes off cooldown finally, and he is going to go ahead and get out of that for free.
He's absolutely out of there, and for free, just as you mentioned. He got the tier 1 and the tier 2 tower, might I say, while Direwolves were pushing up mid.
Well, both teams got a tier 2 tower out of that, but at that point, when you're behind, like Tainted Minds is at the moment, a stalemate or draw is a win.
Oh yeah, completely. And now both camps are coming up, the red and the blue. Fort Direwolves are going to be getting even further ahead with their farm. I want to see a Fire Giant. I've said it a few times. They've got some wards on it at the moment. Well, Divine is just rotating over to have a look at these wards. Yada's got a ward on it now. They should be looking to go for it now.
Well, the trouble is, Direwolves want the Fire Giants just so they can end the game, but Tainted Minds does have a very good objective secure with the Fear No Evil. But Tainted Minds, they can't just go up and try and take it. They'll get absolutely destroyed by Direwolves, so it's quite high stakes. But prove me wrong, Ogre.
Alright, they are starting up this Fire Giant Ogre with the Raven Shout's going to get him some extra health while tanking the Fire Giant. Tainted Minds don't even know this is going on. That's a free Fire Giant for Direwolves.
Tomo's just kind of coming up, trying to look for a still, but it's already gone, buddy, and now he is gone.
What is that health from Tomolomo from a pluck? He has Soul Reaver. Richard has Soul Reaver on Soulmate.
Oh!
What? As Maxon dunks down, gets himself a kill onto Tomolomo. That's going to be a tier 2 tower in right. But what? Richard with the Soul Reaver and the Void Stone. What is he going for?
Kiki has a Soul Reaver as well. They're looking to just burst down Tainted Minds just completely.
They're looking to chunk them out. Tier 2 tower has fallen down. They're looking for this right side Phoenix. Tainted Minds have no towers left up at this point other than the Phoenixes. Richard and Ogre have that Raven Shout. Well, Richard doesn't, but they are extremely tanky. They will be able to tank this one out easily if they decide to go for it. That's a great stun onto Gruff, but the Beads is strong. That's a Fear No Evil as well. Trying to use that defensively. No one's fallen down just at this point, but Shred under that tower. I mean, Phoenix, Centaurus form, Divine should fall down in a second too. Lurking in the waters, Richard Castle granted with the kill.
Richard Castle is just going off this game with the kills, and they're trying to focus down Tainted Minds more than they are the Phoenix. Phoenix is going to fall in a moment now that Tainted Minds is trying to back up a little bit, stay alive. Cage coming down, trapping too.
Great Cage, trapping Gruff and Tomolomo. He doesn't have any kind of shield or beads. Kiki gets a double kill onto both of those with the bomb. They could be looking for this mid lane. Phoenix, Slicey, and Shred are still up.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead get that mid lane Phoenix pretty well. They could end up ending pretty well. It's only Shred and Slicey, although they're going to go for the left side.
Oh, great pluck onto Slicey. The Aegis was just a bit too late. I mean, the beads was Slicey getting slowed out there. Not even worrying about them. They're going for this Phoenix, and then they're going to back off.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead, back off, spend the gold they have in hand, and just come back. I don't know, maybe Richard will get 2 Soul Reavers.
2 Soul Reavers. Maybe he might even get it to Hootie. Who knows what he will get.
Oh, God.
It'll be pretty interesting to see what he gets. I mean, I like the thought behind Soul Reaver. It clearly worked. You saw one charge prey, did about a quarter of Tomolomo's health, and then he got picked up by the rest of the team. However, Direwolves are going to be taking away a Gold Fury. They don't really need it at this point. They're almost at their end game builds, which they should get when they back.
Well, it's not so much, you know, hey, let's get Gold Fury because I need a couple more bucks. They want to make sure the Tainted Minds doesn't get it while they're backing and getting the rest of their jungle. They don't want to give it to them.
They're just denying pretty much anything for Tainted Minds at this point. They've got 3 fire minions lanes to defend against at this point. So, I mean, they're going to get the farm, but if they try and defend a Fire Giant, that's going to be 3 lanes of fire minions diving right into their Titan.
Fire Giant coming up in about 2 minutes. That gives Direwolves 2 minutes to just lurk around, trying to look for a pickup, trying to weaken Tainted Minds even more. If they do manage to get a good pick, they might even be able to end the game.
Oh yeah, one team fight from Direwolves at this point, even taking out 3 members and leaving just 2. They could easily end.
All of Direwolves still has Fire Giant buff.
Yeah, no one died in the siege down to the Phoenixes. They've still got it up. As you were saying, 1:30 left on Fire Giant. So I don't know if they're trying to look for kills here or if they're looking for the end.
Oh, I think they might be looking for the ends as Slicey sees his end in an instant.
Maxim with a great double tap and Berserker Barrage gets a kill onto Slicey. Divine getting stunned out. No, doesn't have the stun. Kiki though. But what's Ogre's just pushing up right. He's just pushing up right while his team is just storming them in their Titan at this point. Gruff does have the pluck online. Gonna walk right back into the fountain. Fear No Evil though does miss.
Oh, that's a look into the waters. This is gonna hurt, especially if he hits everyone on side Tainted Minds. But that is gonna be the Titan falling.
Great game from Direwolves. Very, very controlling in that entire game. I don't think there was ever any point in that game where Tainted Minds looked like they were having a comeback into that fight. Just as soon as they started taking out that red buff and invading all of their camps, that was pretty much over.
Yeah, Direwolves, we saw on the graphs, Direwolves just kept going up and up. The only time that they really even broke even was when both teams traded a tier 2 tower, one in the mid lane, one on the left-hand side. So Direwolves incredibly strong. Richard just scary.
Richard though. Richard with the Soul Reaver on this. Did he go like 6-0 and like 15 at the end of that game?
He went 5-0.
Just crazy. Just the damage was unreal. And the Soul Reaver. I just love it. The Soul Reaver and the Voidstone was just great. But we're going to go ahead into a 10-minute break. We'll be right back with game number 2 of Direwolves versus Tainted Minds.